It's my life.
Hello, friends and viewers. You're welcome back to the channel. Please don't mind the background, the noise in the background. It is just important that I share this video with you, that I share this vital information with you. I want to share with us today my encounter yesterday with someone. Yes, my encounter yesterday with someone. Yesterday, I went to a place to go and to go and get the service of someone. To go and get a service of someone. But getting to the place, I discovered that the person is into all this online business. Online business, he printed a flex, he printed a banner, yes. He placed it on the side of the wall, just in front of the shop. And getting to the place, I made a call. He was not around at the beginning, but I made a call to him. Oh, I am so. I want to do a particular thing with you. And eventually, when he came around, he asked to just leave me with the apprentice, with those people that are working with him. They were the one that provided me the necessary assistance that I need from them. But what I discovered was that as soon as the man came, the man couldn't attend to me just because of the online business he found out about. According to him, he said it's an online business and it's cryptocurrency. That he said the business started in January this year, 2023. But I discovered that he was so carried away with the business to the extent that he has to leave his own business, his own source of income, what he has been doing for years. This particular man that I'm talking about is into two services beside each other. It shows that he has a two means of income beside each other. Now, because he bring in this new business, he had to abandon the two. He is almost abandoning the two other services that has been with him for a while. What he has been doing, what he has been keeping his family for a while, what he has been, doing for years, he wants to abandon them just because of this new cryptocurrency. And as we all know, all the MMM and the likes that we all did back then, like the MMM, the Sogundogoji, pay 20,000, you know that kind of business now that we were doing then. You know how they folded up. Now this man was there. Despite the fact that I know him very well, and he could not attend to me just because he was busy discussing about that particular business, online business that somebody just introduced to him like 7 or 8 months ago. So to the extent that the apprentice were the one that provided me the necessary assistance that I needed. And at the time when those people finished, they tested what I brought them and the thing worked fine. I have to still ask him, sir, how much is my bill? And before he could answer, it took him like 3 to 5 minutes before he could answer. He was still busy doing what he was doing, discussing about the new business with somebody. I was so touched, and to the extent that he saw it on my face and he was like, oh, pastor, I don't want to, don't mind me, I'm not pastor, but that was what you actually called me. That I just want to introduce. I don't want to release you yet because I want to introduce you to this business. I have to just tell him, oh, I have a place to run to. I have things to do, so I won't be able to wait to hear that. That next time we are going to discuss about the business. What I'm trying to say today is, regardless of the new business you are about to, they introduce to you or you're about going into, you don't need to abandon your old source of income. You have to test it, prove it alongside your old business before you can now say, okay, this one pays better, let me go into this, let me diversify. Before you diversify, you need to understand the fact that it is very important for you to understudy, for you to really understand a business before you venture into it. What you have been doing for the past 10 years or for the past 15 years, you cannot compare to a business that has not just been introduced to you in the last 7 months, and you want that to override the business you've been doing for years. I think it is not right. And what is even bad about it, if you have like 3 to 4, 5 sources of income. You have to match it. You have to do it in such a way that one doesn't affect each other. Exactly my point today. That was actually what really happened to us for us not to come online to release videos, because we are so busy with our former sources of income. We know we want to bless life with on this channel. We want to bless life. We want to touch lives, but yet it should not affect our sources of income. It should not affect our daily activities. That was the main reason why we've not been coming online. But yesterday, when I went to that particular place and I discovered what the man did, I said, "Oh, it's worth it for me to come back to this channel and to come and discuss with you." I'm trying to tell you today that whatever you are doing as your new source of income, or that somebody just introduced to you, don't abandon your old source of income. A successful man always have more than one source of income. If you're having, the man was having two already. If you are bringing this one to it, it's of more advantage to you when you are adding one to the two you are having. But bringing a new business that you don't know the future of it and trying to abandon the two sources of income, it becomes, I think it is not wise. It is not wise enough. So my friends and viewers, please don't behave like that man. Eventually, if that new source of income get crumbled or get destroyed, those customers he has lost, will he be able to come back to them? Will he be able to win them back? Will he be able to build relationship with them? I wonder if the man doesn't know me yesterday, if the man that has not known me before, the way he will have treated me, he will have just abandoned me with the apprentice, with those children, to the extent that when they finish rendering the services to me, I have to ask him, how much is my money? How much is my money? He kept on doing what he was doing. I was very annoyed yesterday, but I want you to learn from that. We don't need to abandon, even if that old source of income is yielding just little amount of money to you, it is still a plus. Don't, because of the new business that you have just been introduced to, abandon your old source of income. Don't. Somebody introduced me to YouTube channel, and I discovered that with time you can bless life, and with time you can even start serve as another source of income. But that does not mean I should abandon my lifestyle, my old sources of income, my physical sources of income, just because I don't know, just because of the new business that I've just been introduced to. Business is meant to be business. Business is meant to be business. And regardless of the number of sources of income that you have, one should not affect each other. One should not affect each other. A successful businessman have more than 7 businesses, have more than 7 sources of income, and yet one do not affect each other. Yoruba even have a say. They said, "Ẹ jẹ́ ká fi iṣu síná ká máa wọ́bẹ̀ kiri." Why will you, because of the new business you have just been introduced to, and you remove the, or probably because of the new food, new jollof rice that you have just been introduced to, you are removing the yam that you are about to roast? It is not wise enough. It is not wise. It is not wise. Friends and viewers, please learn from that. Now, when you are introduced to a new business, what are the things you are expected to do? Number one, you are expected to check to see if that business is lucrative or not. If the business is lucrative or not. That the business is working today does not mean it's going to work tomorrow. It does not mean that because the business is working today, or because it's a good source of income for you today, tomorrow is still going to be a source of income, a good source of income. So whenever you are introduced to a business, you have to understudy it thoroughly, to see if it's worthwhile, if it's worth something you can venture into or not. From the experiences we have with this and the likes in the olden days, you know there are still such businesses are just for a particular period. At the beginning, it tends to be lucrative, it tends to be fine, it tends to be a good business. But before you know it, under a year, you discover that it doesn't worth it. They just abandon it, they run away with your money, they run away with your sweat, your life savings, and the rest like that. So please confirm, understudy the business to know if it's worth it, or if it is lucrative or not. Number two, whenever you are going into a business that you are going into afresh should be understood. Don't put too much burden on the business. Don't put too much hope on the business, so that at the end of the day, it's not going to affect you emotionally, physically, and spiritually. It won't affect your family at all. Number three that I want to share with you: never let that new business be an eraser that will erase or that will clean up your old sources of income. Never let that new business be an eraser that will clean up or that will erase all old sources of income. It is not wise at all. There is nothing bad in when you are having more than one sources of income or two sources of income, even up to seven sources of income. It all depends on you, but never allow a new business that you don't know its future, that you have never tested how viable, how lucrative, how reliable the business is, to erase your old sources of income. It is not wise. Only a fool will allow a new sources of income that he has not vouched for, that he has not tested, to erase his old sources of income. Now, understand that that new business, number four, understand that that new business should only be an addition, never a subtraction. It should be an addition, never a cause of subtraction to your old sources of income. What I mean by that is this: if you are introduced to a new business, or you are bringing in a new business. If you are introduced to a new business or you are bringing in a new business, you should know that that business should be an addition. After you have tested, you have been able to prove that it's lucrative, that it's reliable, then it should be an addition to your old sources of income. Never a cost, never a reason for you to subtract from the old sources of income. Then the last point: always give room for failure in a new business that you are venturing into. Always give room, always hope, always assume you are going to fail before you succeed in a new business. Regardless of the business you are going into, always give that room, always have that thought that it is possible you fail. And there is nothing so special in in a business when you fail, than for you to stand up again. If you fail in a business, what makes you a successful man, what makes you a man, or what makes me a business woman, man or woman, is for you to be able to stand up again. So in every business that you are going into, because you don't know much at the beginning of every business, you don't know much, so you are not expected to put all your hope, all your strength and everything. You can put all your strength, it's fine, but to put all your hope and never to expect that you are not going to fail in that business, it is never done. So always realize, always think ahead of time that it is possible for you to fail, just because it's a new business. But whenever you fail, you should be able to come up with the strategies that will make you to come back on your feet. I want to seriously appreciate you for listening to me this far. If you have not subscribed, please do so now. And always remember that life issues with the TENIOLA'S bring out the best in you.
It's my life.